Hey, everybody, with my friend Eduardo Escobar, who looks like CEO of something. It's
You with that CEO of something.
had to. Just
What a lead in. What an incredible lead in.
there
Thank you
you go.
very much.
See, that's got to be a T-shirt. You got to get a T-shirt that says I'm CEO of
Of
something.
something. Of something. No, you have to say something.
We don't know
Right?
what.
Yeah.
We know he's
Yeah.
CEO.
Something. Yeah. With the last name Escobar, you can only imagine, right?
So hey, man.
People are always like, they're always like, Escobar. Oh, I said, oh, you must have watched Netflix during the pandemic quite a bit, didn't you? Because you saw all of the programming on Escobar that's available.
Do you get like phantom calls from people from the FBI thinking you are the Escobar?
No, but I'll tell you one thing though. I used to always get pulled over at the airport. The random check.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, always. I said my name must be random check because you always pull me. Why? But there was, during the whole 9/11 thing, there was a terrorist. His name was Escobar,
Oh,
ESSA bar. ABAR. Yeah. So, it sounds similar, Escobar, but
but I'm glad you
I,
mentioned it because I actually was buttonholing a TSA agent about that 12 years ago, and
mhm.
actually 12 years ago, but excuse me, 16 years ago. So I said, hey, you're singling out black dudes. And it's, well, actually, no, it's like this random and it's here. But they finally admitted that, yeah, we have a tendency to single out people who look a certain way. And I said, yeah, that's wrong, man. I mean, I get a hot blonde chick through here in a second. She could have all kinds of drugs. Not that I'm a drug dealer, but I'm
Yeah.
just, you guys are
Oh,
missing the point, right? Just don't,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right.
Well, I
CEOs.
mean, the whole idea is to be safe. Actually, the dogs actually do a much better job at all of that high tech machinery that they have you walk through. I refuse to do that. The body scans. I always do a pat down because then I get a free massage. It's excellent
Ask for a woman.
in public.
For
In
me,
public.
I have to ask for a woman. Okay, that's me. I don't care what you say. You make
What's
all the.
that?
I have to have. If that's going to happen to me, it's got to be a hot woman. Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no, it's
But
like
you
no.
can go.
For me, I don't care as long as they have firm hands. That's what matters, okay? Because that's what makes a difference.
Well,
It's
hey man.
it's a massage. We keep it clean, Zeddy.
Yeah, absolutely. But I was going to say this thing about doctors, but I'm saying, hey, doctor, I gotta have a girl. All right.
I
Anyway,
got you. No, I feel you on that.
don't feel me. I'm talking
No, no,
about.
no, no, no. Oh, sorry, we went the wrong direction. Yeah,
Okay.
too much. You too
Uh,
much. Too much.
now that we've done now that we've done our comedy bit, which could be
Yeah.
something. Hey, what the hell happened at that press conference the other day, man?
Oh my gosh. I mean, that was just totally unnecessary drama. And it's interesting because I know the guy. Well, I had met him prior. I don't know him that well, but Jerry Law, who actually punched Seneca, and we showed up there. Look, I got a call from Seneca that morning saying, "Hey,
Come,
there's a press conference rally."
let's
What's
describe,
that?
let's describe our people for the folks in Bangladesh who may not know who the players
Okay.
are.
Yeah.
Folks, the situation here is that uh, Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao has been in office for just over a year now, and she's started a kind of divide and conquer that really hasn't gone the way anybody uh, who thought of the idea expected, and it's degenerated in a situation where now you have a lot of violence in West Oakland, no problems solved, and the mayor has ignited by her actions a guy by the name of Seneca Scott, who we both know, and I'm a friend of Seneca's. I'm not going to, hide from that. Seneca has his warts. So do I. So do you. Uh,
Everybody does. Everybody does.
right. So what? My point is, though, Seneca has been, I think, triggered in a way to take action. And unfortunately, my take on it, but this is Eduardo's, uh, that all spilled over into a press conference where Seneca and others went to, raise their objections to the mayor and her actions during a press conference announcing a grant in the middle of the street. Well, not the street, but in front of the Flatiron Building at Latham Square in beautiful downtown Oakland, or uptown Oakland, depending on how you measure uptown, starting or beginning or ending. Anyway, I have the video, or that was provided to me in part by viewer, and also the other part was Henry K. Lee of KTVU Channel 2, who you may not know.
Fox 2.
Yeah, unless you happen to.
A hell of a reporter, I must say.
Yeah, he is, and he likes to eat a lot too. At any rate,
I didn't know that side of him.
well, anyway, so what happened, and I say all that to say this, not so much to be jocular, although that's true, but the entire press conference was captured on this video that I have, including those clips that Henry allowed me to use, and guess who stars in it? None other than my friend here, who's the CEO of something. And so I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to let you live that down. So
right. Now I see that it's going to be a constant little thread of humor that's going to be interjected there.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. That's the setup. So I don't know. Go ahead.
So here's the video, and I'm going to dial in or dial over.
Right, but real quick though, that is out of sequence or out of context of the order of what things occurred and how they occurred. So we'll clarify once you roll that.
Absolutely. Well, help me, because I inserted one video when the mayor was talking.
So let me give you a setup on this.
Oh, here. Okay.
Let me give you a proper setup though before people start to see this. Is that we arrived at Latham Square and we were posted up in an area that was more elevated on these planners, like seated area, that are just cement, but kind of planners, if you will, right in the center. And so we were standing up on top of them and we were holding our signs, but our goal was just to be visible and present and to be respectful of the press conference, and then be available for interviews to offer the counterpoint to the points that Mayor Thao was sharing with the public, and any other speakers. Just look, this is very similar to how council member Carol Fife would always show up just magically at the tail ends of our press conference rallies that we'd have. And then she would be featured giving a counterpoint. And you know what? Freedom of speech, freedom of the press, right? They could choose to interview whomever they choose. So we don't have a problem with that, because we know that our talking points are solid and we know that we have sufficient ground. So what you're cutting to right now is the second location after the initial press conference had attempted to start, and then they decided to relocate further up towards the point of Latham Square.
So this in the blue, do you know who this gentleman in the blue is, by the way? I don't.
No, I do not. No, obviously he works with the city in some capacity.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if he introduces himself. But anyhow, we were still in the back area where we first stood up with our signs.
I don't think he works for the city, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we were there, and then this is prior to getting to this point here.
Yeah.
And we were just standing there with the signs, and we were not saying anything. We were not speaking on a microphone or on my PA system. Nothing.
Yeah, sure.
And then it was the folks. Torha, which is Carol Fife's husband, and apparently he does security for her.
Yeah.
Plus Cedric Henry, who runs Cano Securities, and Jerry Law, who works with Cedric Henry. were there, but then Cedric Henry chose to engage and get right in the face of Tuan No, who's my associate, and was holding a sign. Why he chose to do that with him, I don't know. He's smaller. He's, Asian. I don't know if he's, it's just kind of a bullying thing, if you ask me. And then he falsely accused Tuan No. I don't even want to perpetuate, but what he said. But he says, "Oh, you were molesting this girl over here, this little girl over here." And then he points at me. He goes, "And you too. You were also molesting this girl over here." Well, I said, that's slander. That's libel. You can't say those things. That's illegal. And that's defamation of character. I said, so it's not. No, I'm good. Thank you. So it's not. It's this is. I said, stop provoking here. Because he was getting right in Tuan's face, literally, about this far away from his face. He was yelling at him, and so that's when I turned on my speaker with my microphone, and I said calmly, "Stop provoking. We don't have to yell.
You could
have a civil discourse."
Because I have a question here, and I don't want to just work with me because I have a question.
Yeah, so that happened at first, right? We weren't aggressive. We were just.
So let's switch this because I want to know what's going on. Watch this. This is why I need help.
And before we start, I know that there's a lot of people out here today, and I just want to say I love every single one of you. You all with signs, you all here standing behind us. This is our democracy, and let me just give you a point of personal privilege. My mom did pass, so my brother stayed back, and I'm excited to be able to see this grant money. So bear with me if you hear my voice shake a little bit. It's just me breathing. But I just want to say I love everybody. Again, even without your sign.
If you want to stop it for 1 second, Eddie.
I heard some in the background. Someone said, "Shut the blank up."
Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm on the left side of the screen. I'm on that side, and Seneca is just a few feet. He's just a few feet up from me.
Eduardo, a quick question: are you to the mayor's right shoulder or left shoulder?
I'm to her front right shoulder.
Okay, on that. Okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and Seneca is also right there, and he's only maybe about 10 feet up from where I'm at.
Okay.
And then they were because Seneca was carrying.
Hold on. Because keep in mind, you got people watching who have no idea how this is laid out. Okay. So
Okay. So I get it.
Right.
So behind.
I got a question.
I'm going to explain it.
Well, no. Hold on. Ask this question. There's a guy. See that dude with the gray hair or whatever and the glasses? He looks like I don't know. He looks like Christopher Walken on a bad day with a trench coat. All right, that guy. Are you past him? Because it's on the edge over here.
I'm back behind that area. I'm actually where
walking. You're behind walking here, right?
Back in behind there.
Okay, cool. That's what I'm trying to.
I'm back because I was trying to talk to the camera folks with I think it was channel 4 NBC. Yeah, because I know those guys, so I always chat with them and wanted to know if after the press conference, if they wanted like a counterpoint, from our perspective of, any feedback of what we thought about what she had just said.
Sure.
And so right then and there, Seneca was on that side, like he was just a few, like I said, maybe about 10 feet up from me. Once again, over, I'd say, Mayor Tao's right shoulder, kind of close to where that post is, you see behind her. Yeah, right in that area. And so, but they were messing with him. And Seneca had a clipboard in one hand, and he had a sign that we had our big signs that you'll see in the other video. He was holding a sign. It's that same sign he had in his hand.
Okay, let's
so they were continuing to like needle him and badger him being there. They didn't want him to be there. They wanted him to leave. They didn't want him to be visible. They didn't want him to be in. So all that talking is not because of him. It's because they're poking at him. They're basically poking the bear, and they would not let up. And then you'll see at a certain point where Mayor Thao gets nervous and she's looking to the side because
that's what I'm getting.
It gets loud. Yeah.
Let's play out. Hold on.
Today, the city of Oakland has been awarded $3.5 million by the California Department of Social Services under the Community Response Initiative to Strengthen Emergency Systems Act, which is also known as the Crisis Act Grant Pilot Program. This program will promote safer and more secure streets while improving outcomes for people in crisis.
If you want to stop it just real quick.
Yeah, she turned her head.
Okay. Okay, that's where it starts. But you hear Seneca saying, because he's getting needled and badgered by these folks back there. And he says, and so Seneca's response is he's trying to minimize it and de-escalate the situation. And he's just saying, hey, this is going to get hilarious here because it's ridiculous what they're doing. Because we're there, we have the right to be there. It's a public space. And, we have the freedom of speech to be there. It's an open space. It's a public space. It's not restricted. So, from there, then you'll see it. That's when it blows up. You see her turn around, and then that's where there's a little scuffle that's going on. But I saw Seneca backpedaling, and then this guy, and not just Jerry Law, but the other folks, part of that team, were all on top of him. There's like three guys, 4 guys, 5 guys, and more ended up being. And you'll see. Go ahead, roll it.
There was no Oakland police. There were no Oakland police there.
No OPD, and you'll see later who was calling the police. I was.
Well, no. My point. I'm looking at this from a standpoint of a guy who's worked for 2 mayors of Oakland.
Yeah.
And who's worked for 5 politicians, and what goes through my head is who on Mayor Tao's staff represents the advance team to set up a press conference to make sure there's a place for protesters that's cordoned off,
right,
for the press, and a place for her and her staff, and a place for the audience.
Correct.
Okay, that's what I'm getting at.
That's a professional way to approach this. Correct.
All right. Okay, so
she didn't do that.
Let's continue. All right.
And comprehensive community safety strategy.
Do you want to stop it? I'll explain.
Okay.
So at that point, Jerry Law had already. I saw him just throwing blows like this.
Now, who is Jerry Law for the audience? Who's Jerry Law?
Jerry Law works with Kano Securities under Shedrick Henry.
Okay. Now, what's Kano Securities?
I don't believe they're licensed, and
that's beside the point. Who are they?
Yeah. Well, they are basically they provide security for I guess the team of Carol Fife, and because her husband Torha is in league with these folks.
But I mean, is all that? What I'm trying to get away from it. I don't mean to be mean or anything. I apologize. Please forgive me, my friend. You'll punch me out later. My point is.
Hey, you're triggering me. I'm
just trying to. Go ahead. I'm trying to give the audience a proper understanding.
Background. I get it.
I mean, all this gossip stuff doesn't really help anybody.
No. It's not. That part's not gossip. That's facts because Torha works in conjunction with this Kano Securities, which is Shedrick Henry.
I'm simply saying,
and Torha is connected with Carol Fife, who's a council member there, who seems to have the ear. And she was one of the folks that spearheaded the defund the police movement, and she was heavily influenced by Cat Brooks, and she is in league with another spearheader, Nikki Bass, and then also Mayor Thao before when she was a council member, Sheng Thao.
Again, this is for the people in Bangladesh. And again, the point is, okay, Kano an actual company, security company?
If you look them up, Kano Securities, these folks, they're ex-cons.
Okay.
And and nothing against ex-cons, because I have all friends from all walks of life and backgrounds. However, it's my understanding that you can't carry a license with the state unless they pull licenses when you have you're an ex-felon.
I get all that.
Yeah. But you're saying in order to explain it properly and give the full background to people, from our perspective and our vantage point.
Right.
Yeah. And so as far as informally how they brought these folks, they were operating under the, under the guise that they were handling security and locking people down, because they have no right to engage us. Mm-hmm. None whatsoever.
But the problem is, in lieu of Oakland police, like for example, in Las Vegas, it would be the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police.
Right.
It would be the Nevada State Trooper's Office, and it would be the Clark County Sheriff's. And correct. They have a detail specifically for elected officials. All right.
Let me give you a little background. Yeah, and I agree with you 100%.
No, I'm saying, you mean to tell me that this Kano organization,
Kano Securities,
pretty cool name though. Okay, my point is, you're telling me that this organization, cool name aside, is the one that's actually serving in the role that the Oakland police should be serving in, along with the Alameda County Sheriffs?
Correct.
Oh my Lord. Okay, let's continue.
All right, community safety strategy.
Now, who is that? What are we looking at here?
Well, who's that? There's a number of people on the screen. So you've got Seneca Scott, who's wearing the vest and the blue sleeve short shirt, and then you've got Shedrick Henry, who that's his business is Kano Securities.
The guy doing basically trying to stop Seneca from, I don't know what he's doing. It's kind of
he's imposing in Seneca's face and in his space. And they followed him around the corner from the backside of Sheng Thao, and then he was imposing himself and then basically bullying himself onto Seneca. And you'll see as it continues, it's not just him, it's also Torha, who's Carol Fife's husband, who's part of the security crew, and then the other folks that are part of their team. There was like a good 5 of them. And then Jerry Law dropped back. He's the guy that was wearing the same color hoodie, which is like a heather gray, and he was wearing Oakland A's athletic green cap, baseball cap turned backwards. And then he was the one who struck Seneca, and you'll see in the video he's being held back way in the back of the screen. Because he was pursuing Seneca around the backside of where Mayor Thao was.
This is good. This is because it gives me information. Is there any video showing Seneca getting struck? I know there's one. Well, let's continue this.
There's videos showing the heads of them and as they move back, but it doesn't show clearly.
Okay. All right.
We must have the right tools and resources to implement the strategy in an impactful and meaningful way.
Hold it right there. Hold it right there.
Yep.
So Zenny, earlier I had told Shedrick Henry and Jerry Law to back off, and I said, stop provoking. So they turn around and take my saying, and then they go ahead and they start using it. And you'll hear, when you hear a clear audio on Mayor Thao speaking, you'll hear the yelling, stop provoking, please stop provoking, please stop provoking. That is not us. We are not interfering. That is them. That is that security crew of Kano yelling, please stop provoking, which is interfering with the press conference. We didn't do any of that. That was all on their side.
And
But
they,
if
and
you don't know any better and you just hear the press conference, you would think that that was protesters.
but
Wasn't us.
they represent the mayor.
Apparently so. That's what we're looking at. Like, it's questionable because,
So
they represent. They
so
also, here's the thing: is they represent nonprofits.
I have a question. See what you're telling me, because this is disturbing. My issue is I'm not really concerned about who shot John or anything else. I'm concerned that we don't have a city policy that mandates that a mayor in Oakland handles a public event in a way that professionally cordons off protesters, viewers, and the press. That's common. Number one, it ought to be against the law for any public official to go out this way, because it not only endangers the mayor, it endangers other people. You could have been shot. You could have been hit. Okay.
Stabbed. Could have been stabbed. There was other folks that were there that were
all because the mayor of Oakland did not have a professional staff, and this is where I blame her staff. She has a chief.
But this is top down, Zenny.
No, yeah. Well, hold on a second. No. This is me as a trained public official. Okay, I'm pissed off. Your city administrator should be watchdogging this. Your deputy city administrator should prevent this. This is okay. Forget the politics. This is where the rubber of running government meets the road. I don't care where you align yourself or what you call yourself. This crap is absolutely ridiculous. It is insane.
Beyond insane.
This is ridiculous.
Unacceptable.
But
that shows the lack of professionalism, though, that we're dealing with.
Right. Think about this and I'll shut up, all right? I promise you, I'll shut up after I say this, all right? You laugh, I will shut up. But I find it very concerning that we have a number of events that involve the mayor that always they always degenerate into a who did what, as opposed to, hey, wait a minute. Are we acting toward policy and protocol? Is this, you know what I mean? Professional behavior has gone out the window.
Correct.
And it could be straightened out like that.
Sure.
I'm not talking about recall or anything. I'm talking, I know you guys are okay. I'm speaking from a guy who is providing a guardrail for everybody who doesn't know how government's supposed to work. And I'm telling you how government is supposed to work. This could have been, sure. And everybody could have had their say. I'm sorry, now I promised I'll shut up. I'm shutting up. You talk, sir.
So here you go.
Yes,
Just
sir.
to clarify.
Yes, sir.
Why would these folks be so hell-bent on intervening and trying to shut us up and shut us down? Shedrick Henry, why did he need to get in such close proximity to violate the personal space of Tuan No, who's my associate there, just holding a sign? We weren't saying anything. We were just holding a sign there. And then to be yelling in his face in a provocative manner, and that's why I said, stop provoking. Stop, keep your distance, stop provoking. You could have a civil discourse. That's why I had the speaker and the microphone that I turned on. So then that way I didn't have to yell. I could just speak in a calm voice. And if you watch the complete footage that's out there, you'll see what transpired there. And then they started with these false, like, defamation, these accusations and everything that were just bizarre, just so far out there. It's like, what? I'm sorry. What the hell? Where are you coming from with that? That's bizarre. And beyond that, the threats that was, because my appearance is that I'm a white man, and yet I'm 100% Hispanic. I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican, and I'm fluent in Spanish. And so to shut them up, I started to speak in Spanish. And they're like, oh, so you know a little Spanish. So what? It's like, no, I'm 100%. Okay. So this accusation that I'm, white Caucasian male, and that it's okay for you to be racist towards me is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. And so, going beyond that, Kano Securities, like, you have to ask yourself, why are these folks so hell-bent on shutting us down and keeping us quiet? because they don't want us to interrupt the money flow that happens to benefit them. And how is that? Because these folks are involved in nonprofits, and the nonprofits have money funneled to them from the city's administration through Carol Fife, who there's that kind of collusion and a conflict of interest, and how they send money in that direction towards Cat Brooks, who has a partnership in a nonprofit with Tora Ha, who is Councilwoman Carol Fife's husband. I mean, it screams of
District 3 council member. For those who don't know Oakland, that's West Oakland, not North Oakland, which is District 1, but West Oakland and downtown Oakland. So
yeah. So it screams of graft corruption, cronyism, huge conflict of interest, to the point of being illegal and should be investigated, to be honest. Because this 3.5 million, apparently there was a post that came from Cat Brooks that she was just, in la la land about, wow, all this funding that we received. But here's the thing, nonprofits, when they were first created, and the purpose, it was for benevolent purposes, right? To benefit society. And that's why they have certain tax status and recognition by the government in a certain way that encourages more of the good deeds and the charitable works that nonprofits can really be behind. But what's happened is they've co-opted this whole nonprofit approach to basically siphon money and redirect money and redistribute that taxpayers' dollars towards nonprofits that have no transparency, no accountability, no metrics, no oversight. I mean, I'm going to have to start adding more fingers. I don't know how much more to tell you, but these folks are all tied in. That is why you see these folks so up in arms, because Shedrick Henry is running another program, I think, called From the Cage to the Stage. There's other programs that they're involved in that they are benefiting. How? Financially. So when they're looking at it as a threat to their pocketbook, of course they're going to be up in arms. Of course they're going to be doing these things. Do you get it? You see where the connection is?
Well, I'm more interested in what's going on in this crowd. I mean,
well, brother, that is the backstory of what the motivation is behind the players here.
Well, let's have a look at it, because I want to keep my view out of this. All right, this is not for my view. This is for your view. If they want to come on and explain their view, please do. But this is your view. But I want to see what's going on in this crowd.
It's not my view. These are facts of what is. You look at the businesses and look at the transactions. We don't want this to occur. We don't want this type of agitation and adversarial.
I get that.
We went there practicing our freedom of speech.
I just want to see the video. I just want to see the video. I want to hear you too, but I want to see the video. Come on.
Go for it.
I told you you're CEO of something. You're acting like it.
Roll it. Roll it.
It's about love. It's about grace. It's about compassion. It's about humanity.
Now, folks, the person in the beige is Nikki Fortunato Bass, and she's running for Alameda County Supervisor. She's District 2 Oakland City Council member. Just a note. Let's continue.
Love everyone. Love people. Love. Over the past year, we have invested in a robust police department and placed more police officers on the street to conduct patrols and special operations.
Stop it there, Zenny.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you'll notice there's a guy wearing black tactical gloves. And those have kind of, if you will, like a brass knuckle type, but it's a plastic knuckle encasement. And that is for striking someone.
Wait. Where is this? Hold on a second. That's okay. Let this.
It's about grace. It's about compassion. It's about humanity. We love everyone. people, over the past year, we have invested in a robust police department and placed more police officers.
Okay, now where is this person?
On the street to conduct patrols.
Right there. See that glove right there?
Talking about this?
Yep. That has a plastic encasement over the knuckles. So when you strike someone, it's like brass knuckles.
Police officers.
Well, how do you know? Did he clock you or something?
On the street.
What's the need for wearing something like that if you don't intend to be aggressive and intimidating? Come on.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying.
It's not because its hands were cold.
What was the temperature?
No, it was. It wasn't cold. It was. I think what time of day it was already. Close to I think 11 o'clock.
Let's see. Oakland weather for that day.
10:30.
Oakland weather was that February 10th. What am I? February 19th. I'm sorry. 19th.
No, that wasn't 19th.
What date was it?
That was the 22nd, I believe.
The 22nd, even better. All right. Okay. 22nd. All right. That would be all right. Okay. Oakland, California. 70 degrees?
Yeah, roughly. Either our 21st, maybe it was the 21st, I think.
The bottom line is, yeah, it's not like 40 degrees.
No. There was
47.
It's all about intimidation factor, because this gentleman has been hyper aggressive with people in the past. I mean, we've had conversations, him and I, and I've seen him in terms of his spatial distance when he had conversations with Tuan No. When we had a press conference, look, when we had a press conference, stop the video. When we had a press conference at Colonial Donuts. That was when they experienced like 3 robberies within a month's time.
Favorite donuts.
And just as we were wrapping up that press conference, Carol Fife shows up. And Carol Fife, who's council member, right? And she shows up with her husband, Torha, who's the guy wearing the tactical gloves, the black tactical gloves that kind of have that plastic encasement. And she said, "Oh, I was in the neighborhood or what?" No, come on. You know the press release, we pushed it out. They were there intentionally. They waited for Seneca to leave before they showed up even. So they were sitting in their vehicle and watching from afar. And they did interviews with Da Lin from KPIX CBS News. And we spoke. Wow. Her and I spoke calmly, no problem, no issues and everything. And she gave her interview to Da Lin, her point of view from her perspective. And we did not interfere with that. And we did not say anything adverse or anything to her whatsoever. She's well within her right, freedom of speech, to go ahead and speak.
Let's keep on the topic of what happened at this year. Because I could, mainly for time reasons too, because we're on a time constraint. Let's go to the actual, and then we can always do another video too. You're not going anywhere life-wise, are you? God hasn't called you really yet, has he?
Who knows? Tomorrow's never promised, my friend.
Hey man, always look forward to tomorrow. Remember the song from?
I do, but it's never promised though. Despite what you could look.
The sun will come out tomorrow. Da-da-da.
Yeah. Okay. Good voice. There you go. Roll from there. You'll see. That's me right there.
Yeah. Okay.
How to
this is
potty
where
train your
after the
puppy
commercial.
or the rescue as fast as possible.
Product placement.
Press conference. Y'all don't have the ability to.
All
Go
right.
back a little.
Oh, that's as far. That's where it starts. Let me see if I can go back.
Oh wow! So you missed a good chunk of everything that happened prior.
No, actually, this is where that video started.
No, that's not the complete. No, it's not. If you look at the full posting from Henry Lee on his Twitter account, it'll show what happened prior to that moment.
Okay, maybe there's a video I missed, but let's there's a whole set of videos here. This is just the first one, so let's just let it play through. Okay.
Press conference. Y'all don't have the ability to organize your own press conference. conference, so you decided to crash somebody else's press conference with your microphone and your fake KPFA hoodie on when you don't work for KPFA. So don't try to talk about civility. Organize
she comes into our press conferences.
Organize your own rally. Organize your own rally.
Girl 5 comes into
Organize your own rally.
All the time. Who's that young lady?
Girl 5 comes onto our press conference.
Who's that young lady?
That is Seneca. You see that? Okay. You see in his hand, what does he have? A clipboard, and he has a sign.
Eduardo, who's the girl?
Oh, I have no idea.
So I got the right.
You don't want my honest opinion of.
No. I'm not talking about that. I just want to know who the girl is for the purpose of the story. Who's the girl?
I have no idea. She's just
Video
part
right.
of that.
Yeah,
She's
this
all
right.
part of that other stuff. The
Right.
other crew that was practicing fear and intimidation tactics, and they were getting in our faces and they were yelling. And as you could see, she's out of control. She just spews forth a bunch of nonsense that states that, oh, you guys have your own. Yeah, we have plenty of press conference rallies, and you know that already, Zenny.
Yeah, but
We do it all the time.
Yeah, but she's cute to me. I'd rather take her to dinner. She's not out of control.
Yeah, meet her in person. I don't think you'd take that back.
No, I'm serious about it.
A man at your level of intelligence, I don't think so. Okay.
She's smart to me. Yeah, hey, look, I love to argue.
Smart.
I've argued with all my girlfriends.
What do they have? Smart ass mouth, maybe, but not smart. No.
No,
She
there's
had no substance in what she was saying whatsoever.
yeah, there is. You might agree with it, but it's smart. I may not agree with it, but it's smart. Okay, never in this life or the next you see a black woman, all right, expressing herself, ever say that. Don't let it come out of your mouth, man. It's wrong.
What's that?
All right,
What's that? What?
I can say that as friends. Okay, I'm just like education Popeye style.
That is disrespectful. What she was doing
Okay,
there, and
All
she knows not what she's saying. Forgive her, God, but she knows not what she's saying. She was so off base, and I mean, and then making all other kinds of statements and accuracies is just so far off that, like, you'll notice I don't even engage her other than I talk about Carol Fife and what she does, and that's it. Beyond that, nil.
to the dinner, man.
Okay, now you're going beyond.
No, I'm
That's your area, not mine.
smooth, but because I'm black, it'd be smooth, man.
Yeah, okay, smooth.
It'd be smooth.
Because I'm Cuban and Puerto Rican.
Flowers, remember,
Smooth.
Eduardo, all
Go
women are flowers. Okay, remember that. All women are flowers.
Yeah, and some are wilty too.
Well, nah, but anyway,
when you don't work for KPFA.
I like the way she does the finger thing. Okay,
So don't try to talk about
You should talk
civility.
to Carol Fife.
Organize
She comes into our press conference.
see, I could imagine her at a diner picking
Oh
out.
my gosh, stay on point, man. You're going way off
No point. She
point here.
would order the food and she would make
Oh my gosh.
deliver.
Yeah,
I love women like.
I swear, if you were in a restaurant with that gal, you'd be like, check, please.
No, I wouldn't. They'd probably want to be in a restaurant.
Yeah.
Organize your own rally.
Girl 5 comes into
Organize your own rally.
all the time. Girl 5 comes onto our press conferences all the time. Carol 5 comes in on our press conferences all the time. All the time. Carol 5, she rides our coattails off of our press conferences all the time. All right? So there you have it.
No, let him come over here. Let's have a talk, man. I live in the lower bottom.
Y además soy hispano, Eduardo Escobar me llamo, soy latino, soy representando la comunidad hispano, porque están siendo abusados también.
That's Eduardo. That's you, right? That's Eduardo.
It's me.
Eduardo, your diction is beautiful. Just gotta say.
Thank you.
So is it breaking up now? Is that what's going on here? Look like it broke up. That's Sean.
No, that's where they're tearing down the first setup for their press conference,
Oh,
and they're moving.
That's Sean. Sean, I know Sean. He works for the city. He's the guy that's responsible for the press conference. Okay?
Yeah, I talked to him actually earlier at the other location in front of City Hall.
his fault this thing went off the rails the way that it did. He knows better. He's been around long enough to know better.
Well, he's not taking control of the situation. I'll tell you that much. Do you see Shedrick Henry right there with Kano right in front of him?
Shame on you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. So this, to clarify what's happening here, this is when they're tearing down the first location for the press conference, and then they're going to be resetting at a point further back.
So what this one should have came before the other. If I had to rewrite,
You have it out of sequence. Yeah.
Thanks for that. That's what I need to know. Thank you.
That's what I told you. Yeah.
Well, see, it makes sense. We're doing it like this, and you can yell it and scream at me in public and everything. Tell me I got it wrong.
I mean, you wouldn't know any better because you weren't there. So.
Right. Well, yeah. Well,
Why are you yelling? Why are you provoking? Why are you yelling? Yeah, because we're not yelling. We're not yelling. I don't have to.
Stop it right there.
Got it.
You hear me saying, why are you yelling? We're not provoking. Why are you provoking?
Who is the gentleman in the foreground with the nice jacket? Looks like, is that cashmere? What is that?
Oh, that's Wilson Riles Jr., I think.
This dude?
Yeah. The older guy, yeah.
That dude is not Wilson Riles. I've known Wilson Riles since 1985. That is not Wilson.
He's an older guy. Yeah, he's an older guy. He's well dressed. He's always well dressed.
That is not Wilson Riles. Let's run it. Freeze it. All right, you know who that is?
Who is it?
That's Boots Riley's dad.
Oh, okay, that's what I meant. Sorry.
Have you ever seen any Boots Riley's films?
What's that? Yeah, I know he came out with that one. Yeah, I'm sorry. The correction is you're right.
Yeah, that's Walter. That's wow. So he acts like what he's standing like. He's standing like Bear Bryant at Alabama. He just needs an Alabama hat. Remember?
Yeah, he's a big time supporter of Pam Price too.
Oh, I like Walter. I don't agree with him. I don't agree with the way he of late has used white media to attack black folks and all that. He's black himself. He's a good man.
Part black.
It's exemplary of how we've all went off the rails on this stuff. Okay, I mean this scene should not be. You hear what I'm saying?
But you'll notice we did not move from our position. These folks came against us.
I get that, but what I'm talking to you about is culturally what's going on here, man. We as black,
that culture?
Yeah, we're broken.
That's lack of culture, yeah.
That's Eduardo. That is culture. All right. It might not be,
It's not acceptable when it comes to professionalism, and you'll notice Seneca.
But
Seneca's also black, and look at his behavior. He contained himself. He stayed back. He was not the aggressor here. We all stayed back. Look at the signs. Hold on. Look at the lineup of the signs in the background.
Be aware what you
all stayed back there.
Be aware of what you're saying, okay? So is Walter, and Walter's black. That's not what I'm trying to explain to you. I want you to get out of your head. Now I'm going to reach in your head. I'm going to pull your brain out, okay? And I'm going to rearrange it. And I'm saying, look, all right? You should not look at a person and have these stereotypes at all. All right.
Wait. Where's the labels of stereotypes? What are you talking about?
I'm gonna go down the rabbit hole. Just listen to what I'm saying so I can get through to the next.
I know, but that's not.
I know.
Not appropriate saying that the stereotypes here.
Making an assumption. Stop. Just listen to me in detail. Let me finish my sentence because you don't know where I'm going. Okay. This is an ideological issue. Walter is a very classy guy.
Yes, he is.
Okay. He is also black. Seneca is a very classy guy. He is also black. You are a very classy guy. You are Latino with little black specks spicked in, but you don't know it. And you're CEO of everything. All right. The one thing that all three of us have in common is we're CEOs of something. Okay. I love you guys. I really do. And that's what I'm saying. These are all people here I really love. And it hurts to see, for the most part, these good folks literally brought to a point where they're at each other's throat, and we're getting into who said what. We're not saying, gee, how do we get all together so we can fix this, so we can fix our city?
No, let me clarify.
All right.
You wanted me to come on here to clarify who was doing what at what point and everything. So for me to say who said what, I am putting it in perspective. So for someone who was not there, so that they understand how this unfolded.
Yeah, but
That's it. But you'll notice, look at Boots Riley. Look at his dad.
Right.
Look at how contained he is. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
look to the right, and then you'll see Seneca's over there. We all stayed back there. We were not the aggressors here. We stood our ground and we held for freedom of speech, and that's it.
That is the face of a worried man. I know him.
15th and Broadway.
What exactly happened?
Well, some of the bodyguards here for the mayor attacked.
We are community members. We are people.
Now that's in my face right now.
We are community members.
We don't even got a permit or amplified
Who are
sound.
you?
Calling the
What are you
police.
doing for Oakland?
Definitely
What
don't
are
work
you
for
doing for
KPFA.
Oakland? Not nobody else.
Y'all
What are you
should be
doing?
ashamed of y'all. I should be ashamed of y'all.
We don't want this in Oakland.
I should be ashamed.
You know, the bald haired gentleman, that's
Torah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
Oh yeah, I told you I had a conversation with him. You know, he was a bit aggressive.
But I mean, I've heard good things about him, and I've heard bad things about him. He seems like an okay dude. I watched his speeches, so he has some interesting things to say. But what's he? I've never met him.
It's one of those take it or leave it. It's not nothing memorable either way. So just other than the fact that he's hyper aggressive, he bullies. He invades a person's personal space because he feels that he's bigger than people. I observed him doing that to Tuan No when we were at the Colonial Donuts, and he is getting like really, it was just very hyper aggressive, and it's not necessary. And elevating the voice and yelling that's not necessary. You know, there's a saying in Spanish, hablando se entiende. When you're talking with each other, hablando se entiende, it means while you're talking, you could understand each other. If you start yelling, you cannot understand each other, because then there's a lot of emotion that's blocking a person from being able to process the information.
Agree. Yeah. What is this?
Yeah.
This is a fight, right?
Well, yeah.
What the hell?
I mean, you took it's all out of sequence, right? Because you went back to
Stop provoking! Stop provoking! Stop provoking! Please, sir! Stop provoking, sir! Please, sir! Stop provoking! Just leave us alone! I'm being attacked! Stop provoking! Please 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 stop provoking!
He's not saying anything. I see that.
Yeah. And so there's like 4 or 5. You know what? You don't see other ones are behind them too. There's like about 5 of them.
Yeah, that's a bad.
Even prior to that, you know, why did I stop it? Stop it though. Hold on. Let me explain. Why I had the speaker and the microphone. And why did I bring that? Because Seneca told me that we were going to be getting signatures for the mayor's petition. And my professional training is to speak softly and carry a big stick, correct? So I had the microphone. You could speak and discuss information with people without yelling.
Yes, sir.
And so that way it doesn't seem like it's antagonistic
yes,
when
sir.
you're becoming passionate or what have you. So that I had it there for that purpose, because Seneca said that they were going to be getting signatures for the petition to recall Sheng Thao. So that's why I brought it. But then I thought, hey, strategically, instead of reacting emotionally, the idea was to respond strategically and to think, how can I de-escalate this situation? So by having the microphone there, I turned it on so that way they realized that I was calling 911 and the police. And so that way they would back off and then realize that 911 was listening to everything that was going on. So that was the best thing that I could think of at that time to try to de-escalate the situation. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was effective, because you'll see these folks, were they violating my space and you didn't see another guy and then that gal were yelling and spewing forth all kinds of lies and disinformation intentionally. And yet I stood my ground.
One that I think
I stayed focused and I communicated clearly to the 911 operator. So that way we can get the police, which should have been there already, like you said, and I agree. Because when we had a rally at the In and Out, and that's crime ridden, and that's why they're shutting down that location, I requested from OPD that they have a unit there, because I had Noel Gallo, council member, and other politicos that I was inviting. I wanted to make sure everyone was safe. So if I'm doing that and I'm just a Joe Blow, a regular citizen, then the mayor you should know better. She's right there on Broadway and Telegraph, right in the middle of the street, basically. You know what I'm saying? At the point of Latham, with all those camera crew folks and everything, that Kevin Nishida, who was a security for Cron 4, was killed when he was reporting. And they've had their cameras stolen and everything else and sound equipment. So, yes, I agree with you, Zenny. It should have been handled more professionally with police presence there, because these are not just anybody. These are the leadership of our city that needs to be protected, but also the camera crew for everyone's safety.
Let's see where this takes us.
Please stop provoking. Please stop provoking. Please stop provoking. Please stop the street and please stop provoking.
Somebody call the police. These guys are attacking Seneca. Someone call the police. They struck him. We saw that. We witnessed it.
And there's Walter Riley. He didn't once turn around to see it. Interesting. He was frozen.
We witnessed it. We witnessed it.
I'm being attacked on my person.
He was struck by the police.
We have been physically accosted. We have been physically accosted since we have been at this event. Why do we have press conferences today going behind? Hold on. Excuse me, sir. When they do this, and our press conferences, where you at?
He assaulted somebody.
Nikki Bash
He assaulted somebody. He assaulted somebody. He assaulted somebody.
See the tactical gloves?
Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me. Stop pushing me. Stop assaulting. Scott is assaulting people. He's assaulting people. Senator Scott is assaulting people. Senator Scott is assaulting. Senator Scott is assaulting. We never see out there the office there.
It's a shame so many people.
Okay,
So you'll see there, because you played it out of sequence again. You see, that was prior to me calling the police. You heard me say, someone call the police, and then I finally, called them myself, because no one was responding. It's like there was nothing wrong going on, because their side had that Kano Securities or whatever, and they were basically given the authority to go ahead and violate people's freedom of speech there. And that, I mean, there's the Bain Act, which you cannot do that. You can't constrain someone's movement, and you cannot. These guys were not operating in a real official capacity. First of all, they're not licensed by the state as a security entity. So who gave them the authorization to do that? Let's ask that question. Also, what I was going to talk about prior is that they have a vested interest. That's why they're so fired up. Because if we do recall successfully within a matter of time, not if, but when we do, then the money pipeline that flow is going to stop.
How much of this asking me is, I just want to ask, how much of this is, I'm not saying I agree with what I'm about to offer, but but how much of this is because of a certain rancor that these parties have built up primarily online, on Twitter?
When you say parties, what parties are you referring to?
Parties that were in the video.
Okay.
How much of this is really because of that and their inability to get over these words that have been amplified by social media?
I see what you're saying and why you would say that. In part, yeah, you're right, because there's a backstory to it, because there's been this back and forth thing between Seneca Scott and Carol Fife. And, you know, naturally, Torha is her husband. So he's going to feel protective, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's totally understandable, that aspect of it. But is it actionable? I mean, is it something that is correct and proper or even legal? No, it's not. No, it's not. Is it acceptable? Hell no, it's not.
And
It's destructive and destructive.
That's what's bothersome about this. It would be a different story if it were just a common press conference that involved, you know, maybe the chairman of this chamber versus that chamber or whatever. But this is the mayor's press conference.
Correct.
And they are seen
There
by...
should be a certain level of decorum. Come on.
Well, it's not decorum.
Well, it is for me. I'm telling you, guys.
Professionalism for me. Professionalism and decorum are two different things. Why? Because professionalism means you're aware of the laws and everything that you do is within the guardrails the law set up.
Yeah, I'm going to have to wrap it up then.
That seems nothing to do with the guardrails of the law. And I think you'll agree with that.
Yeah, no, I think, and we deserve better. Can I leave it with that? We deserve better.
Absolutely.
And coming together, si se puede, yes, we can make a difference together. But this divisiveness is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. So we should treat each other with greater humanity. And that's what we want. So
now you go be CEO of something and give me some wine.
Okay, you got that, sir. All right, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Oh, you got to come back, man. God bless you. Hey, stick around in the background, folks. Hey, look, folks, recap of the Screen Actors Guild in 2 hours. Come back to Zenny62. Yes, we have fun and enjoy life. Believe that. Stick around. Thank you. And Eduardo, God bless you. Stick around in the background. All right, hold a second. You're not doing anything.